Hello, everyone. Hello, YouTubers. It's Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So we have to talk about this altercation that took place on last night's episode of Real Housewives of Potomac because it is shaking the table, you guys. It is shaking the table and bringing further conversations about colorism and hypocrisy once again to the forefront of this reality show, you guys. And let's just fast forward to what took place, right? So basically Wendy and Mia got into it. Mia threw a drink at Wendy, you guys. And then Wendy proceeded to, say some stuff about Mia and her husband and things of that nature. And it just went completely left, you guys. It just went completely left. And, Mia basically, I want to set this scene up for you guys so you can hear the following clip. But basically, at the aftermath of the altercation, Mia's going on about her, nails being jacked, saying she doesn't do this ratchet stuff, she doesn't do this ghetto stuff or whatever. You're on the wrong show because that's Love and Hip Hop on VH1. So there's that. But immediately Giselle and Robin, come to me as defense, you boys, and they're all like, she provoked you, it was Wendy's fault, Wendy started this, blah 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 blah. And then we, go back to the table because it is Charisse, it is Ashley, and it is Karen that are at the table, right? And Wendy. And so at first, Karen's doing small talk with Ashley, saying that she looks good, how does she feel, or whatever else. And Ashley's like, I'm good. And she's like, yeah, you look good, or whatever. And so then from there, they're asking Wendy, okay, when did you say the stuff about whether or not her husband allegedly dabbles with other women and men? Was that before or after the drink? And, Wendy, I think, said that it was before, but the footage showed that it was actually after. But neither here nor there. Ultimately, you should not be throwing a drink at anybody. And basically, Wendy was like, listen, if you're going to throw a drink at me, if you're going to throw, a purse at me or whatever, then all bets are off. I'm going to say whatever the first is to my mind, this and that. Like, you've basically opened the door that you're ready for some violence to ensue, you guys. So there is that. So then Mia's up here talking about leaving, you guys. She's up here talking about leaving and leaving the trip and this and that, even though Giselle and Robin are trying to convince her and tell her to like take a moment or whatever else, and that this is her trip and she should not be leaving. So Mia's on FaceTime with her husband, basically explaining everything that took place, explaining how the altercation came to be, and then they're going back and forth or what have you, right? And so then from there, we are then talking about, back at the table with everybody. And then comes Giselle, you guys. Then comes Giselle, and this is why we have this following clip. So let's get into this, and then I am going to react.
Mia's my girl, right? I love Mia, but that was completely unnecessary. How's Mia doing?
She's not doing well at all, rightly so. And she's going to figure out her next couple of days.
Where are you going?
I can leave because I'm not gonna hear Mia empathizers or somebody who is okay with violence now. But when Monique did it to Candace, she was against violence. I'm not here for hypocrites. If I'm in the house, I'm gonna beat the shit out of her.
Oh my God.
Let's get into it, you guys. Let's get into it. Let us react. So that was the end of the episode, and Wendy is calling out the BS. So basically, to put in context, what is taking place in this scene is that Giselle comes back to the table, you guys. She is up here hitting with a utensil so that, everybody can quiet. So she has the floor, and is basically talking about, how Mia's going to figure out what she's going to do the next couple of days. And then Wendy sees red because she sees that this is about to be a sympathy campaign for Mia and everything else, and that Mia was provoked and everything else, and she wouldn't have reacted that way if Wendy didn't do this and didn't do that. And Wendy saw through it, you guys. Wendy saw through it, and she called out the BS, and she called out the fact that where was this energy, for Monique, you guys. Remember a couple of seasons ago with the altercation with Monique and Candace? Remember Giselle, she needed a bodyguard, you guys. She needed security in the presence of Monique, you guys. Remember, she was scared for her safety, and she told Monique to her face that she never wants to be in the same room with her again, you guys. That she never wants to be in the same room as her ever again, you guys. And so now we are on the opposite side of the spectrum to where Giselle is taking up for the aggressor in this situation, which was Mia. And it's just funny to me. It is just funny, and it is hypocrisy at its finest. Some people are calling it colorism. Some people are saying that Mia passes the paper bag test, so therefore that is why Giselle and Robin are defending her, and this and that. And here's the thing, you guys. Had Candace and Monique and Wendy saw through this, you guys, and banded together, if they could have just banded together and saw what Giselle and Robin were doing back then, you guys, we would have a completely different show. We would have a much different show, you guys. And unfortunately, they chose to, for some reason, they think trying to befriend Giselle is going to end well for them. And it never ends well for them, you guys. It never ends well for them, because Giselle has decided who she's going to be friends with and who she is not. And everything else she just treats as a job. She treats the rest as her coworkers, you guys. And for some reason, it took Monique too long to figure it out. It was too little too late. Because the rumor was her season, originally they were trying to ice out Candace. And that's why they had like the weird setup things that were taking place for Candace, because they were trying to get Candace off of the show. But then the fight happened, and then they switched gears, and they were like, oh, well, this is our opportunity to take out Monique, because we didn't like Monique anyways, right? And so then, of course, last season was the attempted takedown of Wendy, and doing it via the rumors about her husband, right? Except for that did not end well for the public, you guys. That did not end well, you know, once the public saw through that. So they had to find an alternate approach, you guys. They had to find an alternate approach to where they were not actively the cause, right? They were not actively the instigator in the cause of this, right? And so that is why they've been gassing up Mia, you guys. That is why they've been gassing up Mia, whether it is Robin versus Wendy or it is Mia versus Wendy. And they were going to have somebody take that shot, you guys, and ultimately hoping that this was going to, you know, get Wendy off the show, that this was going to ice Wendy out of the show. And here is everything else playing out real time, you guys. Here's everything else playing out in terms of Wendy's light bulb finally going off, which she was already warned, you guys. She was already warned that this was going to happen. She was warned that she was going to be the next scapegoat. She was warned that they were going to try to do to her what they did to Monique and everything else, and that they were going to try to provoke a situation, except where the difference was going to be, instead of, you know, them, you know, pretending and everything else, they were just going to let their true colors show, right? And here we are. So the aftermath of Wendy's comment that, you know, basically she did not have the same energy previously for Monique is going to play out on the following episode, you guys. But I just had to react because I'm like, about time. About time. We are finally getting to the meat and potatoes of what this is really about, what the real issue is. And really, is it colorism, or is it the simple fact that they just couldn't stand Monique? And they just wanted her gone more than they wanted Candace gone. Like, what do you guys think? Do you think it is colorism, or do you think it was hatred of Monique specifically? But we cannot deny how Wendy is being treated this season, you guys. We cannot deny how Wendy is being treated and how much Mia is being defended. Had this been Monique, there would have been security. There would have been refusing to film in the same location as Monique Samuels. There would have been, you know, bodyguards. There would have been all of these things, you guys. Because Monique is such a big threat, you guys. She is such a big threat. She is going to harm me. She is going to harm my family. But you do not have that same energy for Mia, you guys. So there is that. But let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post some content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.